Hi, I work on ethereum.org. Who has ever visited our website? Just curious. Okay, everybody. So I am a UX designer. That means that I often ask myself what are like the UX things that we could do on the website, and one of them is one of the main reasons why people visit our website is to find their wallet. Wallet is kind of like the main gate to all things on Ethereum, right? So it's really important to have a good UX in your wallet. And people often ask, like, what is a good wallet? What is a good UX? So over the weekend, I heard a podcast by Don Norman, who is considered to be kind of like a founder of modern UX. And he said a very blunt statement on the podcast. He said, if we only focus on technology, we end up with crap. So I think this is pretty like thought-provoking. But how I kind of interpret this, and I have seen in my experience, is that, you know, technology moves very fast. There are always new innovations, new improvements that we could do. And as people in the tech, we are the innovators. We get excited by all the new possibilities, the visions of the future, and what could be achieved one day if we just make some new improvement. But most people, they kind of see new things, they want to try it, but they are not really up to date with like all the latest tech, or they are not even motivated to, you know, understand all the latest improvements. So there is this kind of divide between focusing on the best techs and what we want to do and like just doing a good product. So there is a difference between just innovation and product building. And I think it's important to sometimes slow down, listen to our users and understand what are their needs. Because sometimes it's not just the newest tech that you need to implement in order to attract users. You just have to make some simple adjustments to, you know, make sure that people understand what it means and what they can do. So when I look at wallets, I kind of installed maybe 30, 40 different wallets over past few months to kind of see when people come to me and ask, which wallet should I try? What should we tell them? And I bet I'm not the only one here who also thought about this. Like if you have friends or anyone, which wallets would you choose to kind of suggest that they use? I think it really depends on who the person is. There is not one fits all solution right now. And it depends on the person who you are trying to suggest a wallet. So if we start with people who are kind of maybe crypto curious, they have maybe Coinbase account or Binance and they want to start actually interacting with Ethereum, then there are wallets that specialize exactly on that, and that means some things that you have to do in your wallet that are not necessarily related to improving, you know, account abstraction or whatever. Even though that's great and it's a step up, it's not the main thing that you need to do. You actually have to provide guides and support. You have to remove all the jargon. You have to think about progressive disclosure and how much information you give them at what point. My favorite is my Ether wallet. It's one of the old wallets. One interesting thing they did, they, for example, removed in onboarding the step about like writing down your seed phrase. That's something that people dislike, but the result of doing that was that they had 10 to 15% decrease in customer support engagement on I lost my seed phrase. And why? Because they thought about it from design perspective. When you are just crypto curious and you want to try Ethereum, you really do not have any reason to like stop exploring and writing down some seed phrase. What you want to do is you want to quickly install the wallet and explore what Ethereum offers you. You have no money. Why would you like write down this seed phrase? Instead, what they did, and a couple other wallets do also, you prompt them about the seed phrase once they have money in the account. So now there is some motivation why I actually care about seed phrase, and people actually manage it better at that point. So no need to even like think about smart accounts. We could have done this and we would have had better UX. Now this has been almost standard in the better wallets. The worse wallets still do it the other way. Okay, social memes. So this is kind of the trend of the last 1-2 years. There are wallets that really try to optimize for people who are in this part of the ecosystem. You can see that even Coinbase wallet, for example, now the main dashboard is not your wallet anymore, it's what's happening on the blockchain. You know, the latest meme coins, the latest mints. In Rainbow, you can even start your own token inside the wallet. Or you can, for example, see what's trending on Farcaster in last few hours. So they understand what that kind of segment of users wants, and they optimize the features in the wallet so that people actually are engaged with using the wallet. And if you know anyone from Gen Z, for example, I think they tailor the experience for them. It would be really a mistake to send people like that to MetaMask. So it really depends on who is your kind of person that you talk to, and based on that, there are wallets that kind of focus on improving their features and layout to tailor to that specific target audience. Finance, of course, that's kind of one of the main interesting things in Ethereum. I see now wallets that optimize exactly for this use case alone. So I don't know how many of you have played with DeFi protocols, but if you have positions on 20 different protocols, it's really hard to keep track. Oh, do I have tokens on this app and this app? So now what wallets do, for example, is they look at all the on-chain data and they create a nice dashboard for you so that you don't have to remember if you have stablecoins on Aave, Morpho, or Beefy, or whatever. They kind of integrate and show you everything inside the wallet, which is really good UX for someone who is kind of really looking into DeFi. Another interesting thing that I see in some wallets is that they hijack kind of the browser kind of experience and they integrate smart contracts directly into the wallet. So for example, with Trust Wallet and Pillar and others, I think, maybe not Pillar, they have collaboration with Morpho, which is one of the DeFi protocols, and the users don't even have to go to the browser to interact with their lending or borrowing. There is just Earn tab, and directly within the wallet, you can supply your stablecoins, let's say, to the protocol. This is, I think, what we will see more of, because as a dApp, you want to have attention to your protocol even before people are deciding where to go. So if you go to a browser tab and then you need to look at like what's the URL and go to some protocol, that's a lot of steps. If you have integrated the protocol right in the wallet, then it's right within the context of your wallet and your account, and it's maybe just 1-2 buttons to supply or do something. That's much better. I think in the future we will see more of that. Then we have, of course, from our cypherpunk origins, we have wallets that focus a lot on security and privacy. Again, those provide completely different set of features. We have also multi-chain wallets, which are wallets that focus more on like all chains within one wallet. If you want to have Bitcoin, Solana, Ether together, there are some wallets for you, but I think those will be less interesting going forward. But the lesson here, I think, is there is no one-fits-all kind of situation, and The wallets that stand out the most and should be suggested to people to use are the wallets who cater to specific target audience and provide kind of quality of life improvements to that wallet, to that use case. And sometimes that doesn't necessarily mean creating new fancy technology, but in reality it really means looking up better DeFi positions overview, or just removing all the technical jargon, or just, you know, providing some social proofs. What is being traded by your friends, you know? The people you follow, what are they doing right now? Things like that. One kind of interesting thing is, I don't know how many people have tried, for example, the World Chain, World app. They are kind of doing similar thing where they integrate mini apps into the wallet, and you just choose whichever kind of mini app you want. So really, wallets could become kind of this epicenter of all the on-chain activity, and you don't have to use the browser tab and kind of try to find projects, go to their URL, etc. Of course, there are some security things and etc., but yeah, I'm a designer. I will let you guys figure out the tech thing. One other thing that I would like to say is that it's really good to think about how you can tailor your product to the audience. And another way how to think about it is just pure accessibility. We are here in Czechia, and unfortunately, there are only 2 wallets that support Czech language. So all the things I just said, most wallets do them in English. I am from a small town, I'm a millennial, I have friends who are into crypto, but they are on exchanges, and I often think, you know, I could push them to try wallet, you know, to see what really Ethereum can do, but then I realize neither of my friends speak English, or not to the level that they would be comfortable actually interacting and having money in the wallet and do some DeFi stuff if they don't speak English. They need it in Czech. But like, there are only 2 options, Coin Wallet and MetaMask right now. And MetaMask has Czech, I think, only in the browser, not in the mobile, or the other way around. So, you know, all the fancy talk about the fancy features, but it's not in Czech, so my friends will not use it just because of that. So sometimes adoption, I think, is really about removing barriers where they are, not about like kind of speed running and trying to solve all the technological issues. On our website, this is data from our website, we know that on ethereum.org, about 30% people immediately switch to their native language. About 50%, it depends how you calculate who speaks or doesn't speak English, but somewhere between 1/3 to almost half of all visitors prefer their native language, if they can. One thing I know also is that, for example, my friends, they look at crypto in Czech crowns. They don't think in dollars. So, you know, there are a lot of simple things you can do to optimize for your user. And it doesn't necessarily always have to be a technological advancement. So, you know, I invite you all to think who are actually the users and what features they might need to try your apps. And if you want to talk wallets with me, or give me some comments on the list that I shown you, please. This is my Telegram, this is my Twitter, and yeah, thank you.